Hi, everyone. I'm here with Benton County Clerk Betsy Harrell, and we are talking about what her office is doing right now, even though we are closed to the public in all of our county buildings. Betsy, thanks so much for taking some time to talk to me today. So tell folks at home how they can still access the services that you are able to provide during this time of a lot of isolation and being close to the public.
Okay, the day we found out we were going to be closed to the public, we scrambled around and just in a couple of hours got an email, a PDF that we email to couples who are wanting a marriage license. They need to request that application from our email account, which is countyclerk@bentoncountyar.gov. Once they reach out to us through that email, then we'll be able to walk them through the process. We are gathering most of the information through email. There is still the requirement that both of the couple has to be there in person to sign a couple of the documents that are part of the process and then to actually receive their marriage license certificate.
Okay, so you have a number of locations, but they're closed to the public, right? Like the admin building is closed to public. So how are you guys still working through all of that?
So the admin building is pretty much a parking lot process. The Rogers office actually has a covered area and a window in the office where they can come up to that window and get their license and still maintain, a good distance. And our employees are wearing gloves to, protect the documents.
Mm-hmm. So it's almost like a drive-through wedding in a weird way.
Sort of.
Okay. Not to bring levity to the situation, but we all need a little bit of humor these days. And you guys have had actually a number of marriage license requests recently, correct?
This is always our busiest time of year. It's spring. May and June are our two biggest months. And then we're just coming off of another busy time, which is around spring break. A lot of people plan their weddings around that time. So from here on, we anticipate that the number will just increase. So it's marriage season.
It is marriage season.
Nothing stops marriage season.
True love, to quote The Princess Bride. So I think another thing is that if people need to somehow register to vote, or if they are still in need of some of your services, the best way to reach out to you guys, since you're close to the public physically, is to reach out to you via email or phone, correct?
Correct. We have reduced our hours of operation. We will only be in the office to fulfill the appointments that have been made for the marriage licenses. Of course, we always check messages. The best way is that email address, and then we'll reach out if there's any communication that needs to happen. People can always mail anything having to do with voter registration. We are coming in and getting mail.
Okay. And I just also want to make sure that people acknowledge the fact that you guys just pulled off a primary runoff election during a time of uncertainty and panic in the country and right here in Northwest Arkansas. So how did that go, and what was the response you saw from voters?
Yes, we were one of 6 lucky counties in the state who had primary runoff elections. A lot of people wondered why it wasn't canceled. The Arkansas Constitution does not have a mechanism in place to allow anyone to postpone or cancel an election. Those dates are set by the legislature, and only the legislature can alter them. And of course, they were not in session. So when it finally became clear to us that we were going to have this election, we just tried to take steps to keep contact with people to a minimum. We all wore gloves. We bought extra styluses so that people could sign the tablet, touch the touch screen without actually coming into physical contact with it. And of course, we wiped everything down with Clorox wipes, every voter that left. During early voting, we only allowed one person in at a time to keep that contact to a minimum. Our election day vote centers, I think the response was very good. We had over 400 people vote at 2 of the locations. I think everybody was very respectful and appreciative of the extra efforts that we had taken.
Yeah, you guys did a wonderful job.
Yeah, we also had received direction from the State Board of Election Commissioners to notify voters that absentee voting was available to everyone this election. So our office sent out over 1,000 absentee ballots, which is normally for a runoff this size, we would probably do less than 100.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, congratulations to you and your team. Your folks did a great job, and it takes a lot to pull off an election. It takes a whole lot to pull off an election during a pandemic.
Yes, it does. I hope to never do that again.
Yeah, and you kept your people safe.
Yeah, the key word there was team. We could not have done it if we had not worked as a team. The Election Commission is pretty much responsible for the logistics and mechanics of an election, but they stepped away from their duties and came to my office and helped us with the absentee process, which is not normally their responsibility. One of them came and ran our early vote site, which is normally my staff running that, but we were pretty short-staffed and they stepped up to help us. So Kim Dennison, Julie Hall, could not have gotten through it without him. And then my chief deputy, who ended up being the only person physically in the office who knows how to do an absentee ballot from start to finish. I know parts and pieces of it, but she really stepped up, and those three girls, and then we had a couple of at home that were helping us, on their laptops. There's a lot of processing that goes into absentee ballots. So Dana and Sam were at home. Without those people all working together, I don't know what we would have done.
Yeah, well, kudos and congratulations.
That's who gets the credit for getting it.
And that's how we know we have a good leader, is that they understand their team.
I don't know about that.
Well, okay, the last question. We're in a weird space right now, and there's a lot of doom and gloom, but there's got to be something you're thankful for in this moment in time, living in Northwest Arkansas. So what's one of the things that you're thankful for during this time?
Well, as I mentioned, the team that I work with and the Benton County team as a whole, the maintenance staff, all the support we've gotten from the guys who are just coming in to keep everything clean. That's critical at this time, and we really appreciate it. They've gone above and beyond. I'm proud to be part of Benton County.
Well, Betsy, thank you so much. We appreciate it, and we send good vibes of health and safety to you and your team.
To you
and
as well.
Your family.
To you and Benny as well.
Well, thanks, Betsy.